Oh, yeah, good idea.
Good coach.
Life has been good for Joe Walsh as one of the great guitarists of all time. The man who helped turn the Eagles into superstars has a new album out now. And as Terrell Brown reports, it is one more step in a career full of musical highlights.
Well, I'm running down a road trying to loosen my load.
By 1975, the Eagles had emerged from California's acoustic scene as the biggest band in the country, and they needed a new guitarist. They found one in Joe Walsh, an extroverted personality with a powerful guitar sound.
It was Joe Walsh's arrival that really kicked things up a notch and took the Eagles to the next level because he brought to the band something that they didn't have, which was an urban grittiness.
With his rock edge, Walsh led the band away from their country roots to create Hotel California. The record captured the decadence and dark side of 1970s Los Angeles. Nowhere was the message more clear than its title track.
Hotel California is an era-defining song. That guitar part is so burned into the brain of a certain generation of music listener that you don't even realize how internalized it is.
While the Eagles' juggernaut stalled in 1980, Walsh maintained a successful solo career with hits like Life's Been Good.
Life's Been Good was something that really sort of defined Joe Walsh and his personality and his kind of jokester persona.
But with the band's reunion in 1994 and years of extensive touring, Walsh's solo work had to take a back seat until now. His new album, Analog Man, is his first solo effort in 20 years.
He, in this digital world, has decided that it's good to get back to the basics, to a good, clean, straight-ahead rock and roll sound.
This summer, Walsh is once again hitting the road and still having fun.
There's something about him as a person that draws out the best in his audiences. It's almost like going to a party, and the guy who invited you to the party just happens to be a great guitar player, and he says, oh, let's hear some music, and then just starts to play.
For CBS This Morning, Terrell Brown, New York.
Very nice. Joe Walsh's first solo album in 20 years is called Analog Man. He joins us in Studio 57, live and in color. Hello, Joe Walsh.
Good morning. Hey, Joe.
So your first one in 20 years, was it scary to do this after all this time?
It was kind of scary, yeah, but it's a really good feeling.
Because?
Well, I've been sober 18 years, and I really opened up and let people see the real Joe now that I know who he is.
Yeah. Were you convinced, Joe, that because after being sober for 18 years, that when you first get into sobriety, were you thinking, I can't do it without the drugs?
I didn't think I could do anything. I didn't think I'd ever be funny again. I didn't think I could play live in front of people. Everything I didn't know how to do, and I had to learn. And you measure that amount of time in years. But Analog Man is kind of, hi, I'm back, and I'm not done yet, and it won't be 20 years till the next one.
That is good to hear. As Gail was jamming out this morning to the new disc. Some of the lyrics are poignant, though. I mean, in Analog Man, the whole world's living in a digital dream. It's not really there. It's all on the screen. You've been thinking about these concepts for a while.
I have. And what I'm trying to do with Analog Man, it's a reality check. Through music, I'm trying to say that we live on an analog planet which we're systematically trashing while we're spending more and more time in the virtual world, which doesn't exist.
Yes.
It's an illusion made by computers.
Yeah.
What's really happening is that we're sitting in chairs while our bodies are waiting for our minds to come back.
Yes. You do say, Joe, that there's nothing that beats the feeling of being in the room with a group of people, really talented people, just doing what you love to do, and that's play music. That nothing replaces that.
Yeah. With the new digital technology, you can fix anything. And you can make everything perfect.
Is perfection bad in music?
It doesn't sound good to me. All the mojo's gone. You get a human performance of guys playing together in a room, and there's magic in that. And it's such a temptation to fix stuff that doesn't need fixing, because you can, you know? And every time you do that, you lose a little bit of the magic that was there. And that's what we love about all the old records that we all love.
I did a piece a while back on vinyl records. You talk about vinyl as well in this disc.
Yeah.
There are things you just don't hear when you go down to CD or MP3.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, you still listen to vinyl, I assume, quite a bit.
Every chance I get.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I like it because there's a side B.
Yes. And side B can be pretty good because, Joe, do you know anybody that doesn't love Hotel California? No, really, do you know anybody that doesn't love that record?
Well, the band's a little sick of it, but everybody else seems to like it.
Yeah, but for the rest of our regular Joes, that took me all through high school. When I think of you, I think about the Eagles. The 40th anniversary is coming up. Does it seem like 40 years to you?
No.
No, what does that feel like? And what are your plans associated with that?
Well, we're working on a documentary now. We've archived everything from day one, and we've put together a documentary of our story. It's not narrated. It's all us.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen some of it.
You approve?
Roughly assembled. It's amazing. It's really powerful. So that'll be out this year.
Now, I understand that you and Ringo Starr, that he's your brother-in-law. How are you two related? How is that?
My wife,
Marjorie,
is Barbara Bach's little sister.
Oh, okay. And that's Ringo's wife.
Which makes me
his
brother-in-law
to Ringo Starr. Well, listen, we should give a little shout-out to Marjorie, who's with you today, because wasn't it Marjorie who sort of convinced you that, Joe, you need to do this? Wasn't it Marjorie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she did a couple things. Gradually, I got married 3.5 years ago, and she's like the part of me that was missing. And she heard my bits and pieces that I have been working on forever, but never really got any momentum to finish. And she said, I really believe in this, and I think it's time you did another solo album. And by the way, here's Jeff Lynne's number.
And Jeff Lynne is?
From ELO.
Yes, okay.
And a brilliant, the Traveling Wilburys, and producer extraordinaire, brilliant guy.
I know who he is. I want other people to know. So Marjorie saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking the lesson here is always listen to Marjorie. Have you learned that lesson?
Well, sometimes she's always right. That's all I'll say.
I think
the wives are always right, aren't they, Gail?
that has been my experience.
Yeah.
That has been my
Marjorie's the part of me that was missing.
Yeah.
She's a real closer. I get things started, and then they sit there because I have another idea, and she helps me get things done.
Well, congratulations.
Congrats,
it's 20
Joe.
years. It's a long time coming. Analog Man.
Thank you.
Life's been good to you. Life's been good to you, Joe Walsh. Nice to see you. Analog Man is on sale now wherever you like to buy your music. A play called Bullet for Adolf may not sound very funny, but that's because you don't know Woody Harrelson till he gets his hands on it. He's the director. He's a co-writer. How does that sound? The actor and director, there's Woody, joins us on the set this morning to talk about his new comedy, and it is a comedy. But first, at 8:42, one more check of your local weather.